Hello, Clarence. I was just wondering if you had a moment to talk really quickly right now?
Oh, hey there, Mom. Yeah, I can talk for a little bit. What's up?
Well, it's just that it's almost the anniversary of your father's death, and I was wondering if you'd like to come visit his grave with me? I was thinking that we could try and make it there to clean up around the grave sometime next Sunday.
Oh, shoot. I really don't think that Sunday is going to work. I already have plans for that day.
Well, if you already have plans for this time of year, then you really should have told me. Because last year you said that you would make time to do this with me, and that's why I'm telling you about it now.
I know, and I really am sorry, Mom. Honest. It's just that it's always busy over here, and I just don't think I'm going to make it over there. But I promise that I'll find some time to visit Dad's grave soon. Okay?
Well, do you mind if I ask just what you're busy with that you can't even make it over here?
Well, I think it's just that Sophie wanted to go to her parents this year.
But I thought that both of her parents were dead, right?
Yeah, both of her parents are dead, but that means they both have graves, right? And they both died around the same time that Dad did, so...
Oh, really? Did they? I didn't actually know that. Besides, I could have sworn the last time I talked to Sophie about her parents, she told me they had both been cremated.
I think you might just be imagining things, Mom. Because that's not true, and I don't know why Sophie would say something like that to you.
Well, you could be right. I might have just misheard. But I suppose if Sophie is wanting the two of you to visit her parents' grave, then that's okay.
You mean you're not upset? You don't mind if I do this with Sophie this year?
Of course not. Why would I be upset or angry over this?
Well, I was just worried that you might see it with Sophie being selfish or something like that. I don't know. I just thought that you would have insisted that we go over to your house to visit Dad's grave is all.
Well, Clarence, I don't know what to say, except that I thought you would know that I'm really not that kind of person. I mean, maybe the people in Grandma's generation might have been a bit more traditional and insistent, but it's not like there's a law that says you have to visit your father's grave every single year or something.
Yeah, I guess not. I just thought that you would be more insistent is all. That really was my bad for misreading that.
Well, I really don't mind at all, Clarence. If anything, I'm glad that you're also taking your wife's wants and feelings into account.
Of course. But I do want you to know it's not like I'm trying to disrespect our family or anything like that. I just didn't want to give that impression since she didn't even make it to Dad's funeral.
Well, you said that was because she was feeling bad, right?
I did say that at the time, yeah. But the truth is that Sophie said she couldn't be bothered getting all dressed up to go to it.
Son, are you really sure that you should be telling me these things about your wife? I mean, I appreciate you wanting to be honest with me, but you need to think about what should be kept between you and your wife. I don't want to be a reason for any kind of drama, so I won't mention that you said this to me about your wife.
I know, but I really did want her to go to the funeral. But I don't know. Honestly, I think that Sophie has been getting much more selfish recently.
Well, I guess it seems like you want to talk about this with me, so do you mind if I ask what she's been doing?
She's just always expecting me to spoil her and do everything while she does nothing for me.
I'm sorry you're going through that, Clarence. That doesn't sound like a good situation at all. To be honest, I almost can't even see Sophie acting like that. I always thought she was so sweet.
Well, the side of her that she shows to you and the side that I get are quite different. Let me tell you that. And like I said, I think that she's been getting way worse recently. I mean, she says some pretty horrible things to me and acts like it's nothing. It's like I'm married to a completely different person now.
But you two have only been married for a couple of years, right? What is it that brought about this change? Can you think of anything? Because this sounds like something you might want to talk with Sophie about. Don't you think that would do more to address the issue than complaining to your mom about this like you're doing now?
Well, yeah, but I just thought I could complain to you like this since you're mom and you'll take my side.
Clarence, I'm sorry, but if these are the kinds of issues that you're having at home, I really would appreciate it if you tried to work it out with your wife instead of coming to me about this. Hello, Clarence. I just wanted to let you know that I've just received a message from Tiffany.
Oh, hey, Mom. You mean my cousin Tiffany? She sent you a message?
That's right. She was messaging me to ask why you hadn't responded to her wedding invitation yet.
I actually completely forgot to. But this just reminded me now, so I'll apologize to her.
You are going to attend her wedding, aren't you? I can tell her that you'll be there, yes?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. But I don't think that Sophie is going to. So I guess if you're gonna tell Tiff, tell her she only needs to reserve your seat for me.
Oh, really? But it's been so long since we've had a big family get-together like this.
I know, but I really don't think that Sophie wants anything to do with our family.
Are you sure about that? Although, I did message Sophie some time ago, and I never got a response from her.
Well, that's because she's ignoring you on purpose, Mom.
Is everything okay with Sophie? I mean, is she all right? Now that I think about it, I've really only been able to meet her a few times for all the years that you've known her. I don't know, I guess she just never really struck me as the kind of person to change personalities so quickly. Are you sure that something didn't happen between the two of you?
Well, it's like you said. You've really only gotten to meet her a few times, so I don't really think you'd understand what has happened between us.
Just because I haven't gotten to talk to her that often doesn't mean that I wouldn't understand. I'm more than double your age, son. I've learned a thing or two about life in my day, you know.
I know, Mom. But just because you've lived a long time doesn't mean you have the answer for everything, okay? I'm glad that you're so confident in yourself, but I think that confidence gets a lot of older people in trouble when it comes to getting scammed and stuff like that. And besides, Sophie isn't the kind of person that you think she is.
Well, I understand what you're saying, Clarence, but you keep coming to me to complain about your wife.
Well, that's because it's really, really hard to be married to her. Not only that, but she's always on my back about money and telling me how much I can spend.
Is she not giving you enough money to get through the work week?
That's right. She takes all my money and barely gives me enough to get by while she spends everything on herself. And no matter what I try to say to her, she just won't listen to me.
Clarence, what on earth are you talking about?
I mean that this is the person that Sophie always really was deep, deep down. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how Sophie tricked me and how she puts me through hell every single day. She doesn't do anything around the house. She just runs around spending all our money. Who knows? Maybe she's even out cheating on me with some other man.
Clarence, I wonder if you wouldn't like me to try talking to Sophie about how much all of this is bothering you?
You can't be serious, right, Mom? You don't really want me to set up a chance for you two to talk, do you? I mean, I don't even know if that would be a safe thing we could do. Besides, no matter what I try to tell her, I know she won't listen.
Well, then maybe I can just go to your house and talk to her in person there.
I just don't think that she's going to want to meet with you at all. Please, Mom, you don't have to do this. Thank you for the offer, though.
Wow. Well, if that's the case, then this whole thing is much more serious than I thought. I'm really, really sorry, Clarence. I suppose I should have been more worried about this from the very start.
Well, I'm just glad that you're starting to understand just how serious the situation is now, Mom. Because I really don't know how much longer I can stay in the marriage. I mean, I barely have any money. I get yelled at all the time. This just isn't how I pictured my life going. You know, she doesn't even cook for me when I get home. And I have to ration the money she gives me so that I can afford lunch every day. Even if most days it just ends up being a few pieces of bread.
Son, do you want to come and stay with me for a little bit? I don't live all that far from the city, so you should still be able to get to work just fine. And maybe it would be good to put some distance between you and Sophie for the time being.
No way! I could never ever go and stay with you like that, Mom. I know that we can work this out if we try.
I see. Well, then I guess Sophie really isn't the person I thought she was. I was sure that she was a quiet, calm, well-mannered woman. I certainly hope that whatever you do, you find a way to get back the woman that you thought you married.
Thanks, Mom. I don't know how I'm going to make it work. But that doesn't mean I should just give up. I'll try talking to Sophie about this one more time.
I really think that would be a good idea. I think that a lot can be accomplished over the course of an open conversation.
Thank you so much, Mom. There's just one last little thing that I have to ask of you. I was just wondering if you wouldn't mind buying a gift that I could give to Tiffany for her wedding. The thing is that Sophie would never give me enough to buy any kind of serious gift to bring, so...
I see. Well, if it's money you're worried about, don't be. I'll be more than happy to buy something and say it's a gift from you.
You really are the best, Mom. I owe you so much. I just wanted you to know all of this so that if something were to happen to Sophie and I, it wouldn't surprise you is all.
I understand, Clarence. Thank you for talking to me about all of this. I really do hope that you two can figure out a way to get along again. I really am worried about you, son, but I'm glad that you talked to me about this.
Thanks for understanding, Mom. I really do appreciate it. I know that I can be difficult to deal with when I get like this.
What are you talking about? You're not like anything, Clarence, I promise. Being married isn't always easy, and sometimes couples go through these kinds of things.
Well then, hopefully that means that if I just hang on a little longer, we'll be able to get through this. I'll let you know if anything else happens, Mom. Hey, Mom. I was just wondering if you had a moment to talk really quick.
Hello, Clarence. I'm actually glad that you messaged me. I had something that I wanted to talk to you about concerning Sophie.
Well, what a coincidence. That's exactly why I'm messaging you right now, too. I wanted to tell you that Sophie and I are going to get a divorce. I'm sick and tired of her taking all my money and verbally abusing me.
I really just can't stand by and watch this go on any longer. You should know that I am standing outside of your house right now, and I am ready to take her straight to the police.
Wait, what? Mom, you've got to slow down. You can't just do that. I mean, why would you take her to the police anyways? Don't you think that's going a bit far? We just decided to get a divorce, so I would just keep your distance from Sophie for a while.
What are you talking about? I would be taking her to the police for her own protection. After all, you've been hitting her, haven't you?
What do you mean by that? You think I was hitting Sophie? Of course I wasn't doing anything like that.
Well, then would you care to explain to me why her face is all red and swollen? Or why her hair is a total mess? You did that to her, didn't you? How could you treat your own wife like that, Clarence?
Wait a second. Are you and Sophie together right now?
That's right. I happened to be out doing some shopping when I ended up near your neighborhood. Just then, I happened to see Sophie walking around the block, but I almost didn't recognize her. She looked so disheveled. And when I asked her what happened, she broke down and told me everything.
Mom, you can't trust a word that Sophie has to say to you. I mean it. Don't you see that she's just tricking you?
It's clear to me now that you're the one that I shouldn't have trusted, Clarence. You've been a liar this whole time. Anyways, I'm going to take your wife and we are going to report what you've done to the police. If I see you come around my house, you are going to be in serious trouble. Do you understand?
Mom, please, you can't do this to me. I'm begging you. Please don't go and talk to the cops about me. Can't you just let me meet with Sophie so that her and I can talk?
How many times are we going to have this same conversation, son? I have told you that if you want to talk to her, you should hire a lawyer to speak to hers. Otherwise, give it up, because you are not going to talk to her ever again.
Mom, please. Don't you realize I could get in serious trouble? You don't want to put your son through this, do you?
My son wouldn't think it's okay to hit his wife. You are no son of mine. You are nothing but a horrible wife abuser and common criminal.
Mom, please. This is all one big mistake. You can't trust what Sophie tells you. I don't know what she's saying, but it's all wrong. Sophie isn't right in the head. You know that I would never hit anyone. But it's not like Sophie wasn't doing plenty of things that might have pushed someone else that far.
And just what kind of things would we be talking about? You're saying that you're the only one with the patience to not hit her for what she was doing?
Well, you remember all that I told you about her, right? She was taking all my money and saying horrible things to me and was barely letting me eat.
It's funny you say that, because one of the things that I asked Sophie was how she had lost so much weight.
Well, I don't know anything about that. Maybe she just started some new diet or something like that.
I can't even with you. I'm going to protect Sophie from you, and that is that. She's already told me how you stole all her money from the accounts she had before the two of you were married. She even told me that you weren't even letting her see or talk to any of her friends. You've been trying to control every aspect of her life, haven't you?
Mom, do you have any proof at all that anything Sophie is saying to you is true?
Oh, I have proof. Don't you worry about that.
Wait, you do have proof? That can't be right.
You must have thought that there could be no evidence since you took Sophie's phone from her.
What are you talking about, Mom? You don't really think I would do something like that to her, right?
But the thing is that Sophie borrowed a tape recorder from a neighbor, and she has plenty of recordings of all the horrible things that you would say to her. Not only that, but she even has some where you can hear the horrible things that you're doing to her through the audio. And Sophie's already shared all of the files of those recordings with me, so you can save whatever excuses you've thought of.
But Mom, that isn't right. You can't believe that. I mean, it sounds like she only recorded the times I tried to fight back and got mad at her. But I'm telling you that the real bad guy here is Sophie. It always has been.
And do you have any proof of anything, of the thing that you've been telling me about her?
Well, no, I guess I don't exactly have proof or anything like that. But you have to know that I didn't do any of this.
I wonder if you even know that you're lying right now. Does it not bother you to try and trick your mom like this? It's so obvious that you're just interested in protecting yourself and avoiding any kind of consequences right now.
I don't believe it. My own mother turned against me through the horrible lies and false accusations?
And just what about Sophie's money? She told me that she had tens of thousands of dollars saved up and that you spent all of it.
Well, I wasn't the only one using her money. Sophie was also going through it.
And just what is wrong with her spending her own money? Besides, she told me about how you would only let her spend her money on things like groceries or gifts to you. But that you never let her buy any makeup or clothes or anything that she might have wanted. In fact, now that I think about it, your house really is just covered in your things. I don't even know what Sophie does own.
Mom, please. You really do have this all wrong. I'm telling you. I use my money to buy plenty of things too.
Oh, I'm sure that you do now that you've gone through all of Sophie's. And do think that you asked me to send a gift to your cousin because you were too poor. You really are too much, you know that? I don't care what you have to say to me now. I simply can't trust a word you say. But how could you treat someone with no family like this? Or are you leaving her because you realized you won't be getting anything more now that her parents have died?
Mom, please. It's not like that at all. You have to believe me. I'm telling you the truth.
Just how many times are you going to tell me that I have to believe you? I wouldn't waste your energy. I already told you that it's not going to change my mind. I don't care what you have to say. We are going to be reporting all of this to the police.
Okay, then. I'll get the divorce and I'll get out of Sophie's life. Just please don't go to the police. Anything but that.
If you really don't want the police to know about this, then you are going to have to pay back all of the money you stole from Sophie. Not to mention extra for all the horrible things that you've put her through.
But why should I have to pay back that money? I mean, it became our money once we got married, right? It doesn't seem fair to have to pay back what was mine.
Oh, okay. I guess in that case, we'll just go to the police. Is that what you want instead?
Mom, come on. She had something like $30,000 when I met her. You really think that I can pay all that back like it's nothing?
Sophie telling me that she didn't spend a penny of her own money on herself. You are going to pay it all back. Do you understand?
Okay, well, if I'm going to pay all that money, then you can't seriously expect me to pay some kind of compensation money on top of that, right?
Of course I do. You put your wife through something traumatic, and now you're going to have to pay for it. So you can either cough up the money now or do it later in court after your arrest.
Mom, please. I just really don't have that much money right now. can't afford to pay what you're asking me to.
And just how long would it take for you to ever be able to afford what I'm asking of you? I don't care if you pay it in installments or if you have to take out a loan. You hurt Sophie, and you're going to do something to set it right.
I really am sorry, Mom. I promise that I'll never ever lie or hurt someone the way that I hurt Sophie ever again. But I need you to give me a break here. If you can do that, then I'll never ever go near Sophie again.
Oh, you already won't be getting near the poor dear ever again. I'll make sure of that.
How can you do this to your own son? Don't you care that you're ruining my life right now? I mean, I thought that you were on my side in this. You're my parent. I already said that I was sorry and I would never do it again. Isn't that enough to fix this all?
I really don't think that you are sorry, though. You can say that you are all you want, but you're not suggesting anything else that you can do to prove it. You tried to sever your wife from the outside world so that she would have no one she could go to for help. All I'm doing here is making sure that you understand how you made her feel. After that, Clarence and Sophie began their divorce process. Clarence agreed to pay back all of the money he had stolen from Sophie, as well as enough to compensate for the damages he had caused in her life. He had the gall to ask me for help again, but I simply shot him down and told him that he had to take responsibility for his own actions and face their consequences. In the end, Clarence ended up selling his car, moving into a much smaller house, and tightening his belt as best he could. But he still couldn't avoid going deep into debt to afford the repayment. According to the lawyer's calculations, it was going to take Clarence a few years before he could ever pay back Sophie. However, we figured that not reporting Clarence to the police was a good way to hold leverage over him and force him to stay in line. By then, I had already decided to disinherit Clarence, as I wanted nothing to do with him ever again. Being left without an heir, however, I took Sophie under my wing. In time, we became closer, and I told her that I wanted to leave all of my possessions to her. Apparently, Clarence heard that I'd done this and began calling me, begging me not to give everything to his ex-wife. He begged me and told me that as the son, he must surely have some right to something. All I told him was that I didn't know what he was talking about, since I didn't have a son. After that, I cut Clarence off and never heard from him again. I only hope that he learned his lesson and knows to never treat someone the way he treated Sophie again. Of course, if we ever hear that he has, Sophie and I agreed to go to the police about what he had done to her.